Hello, BookTube. I'm back with the reading from the Century Magazine, and this is the June 1888 uh, edition, and there are two poems here. One is called Waiting for the Bugle. We wait for the bugle, the night dews echo, the limbs of the soldiers feel jaded and old. The field of a bivouac is windy and bare. There is a lead in a joint, there's frost in the air. The future is veiled and its fortunes unknown, as we lie with hushed breath till the bugle is blown. At the sound of that bugle each comrade shall spring, like an arrow released from the strain of the spring. The courage, the impulse of the youth shall come back to banish the cheer of our dear bivouac. And sorrows and losses and cares fade away when that life-giving signal proclaims a new day. Though the bivouac of age may put ice in our veins, and no fiber still in our suin remains, though the comrades of yesterday's march are not here, and the sunlight seems pale, and the branches is seared, though the sound of our cheery dies down to the moan, we shall find our lost youth when the bugle is blown. And that is by Thomas Wentworth Higginson. Let me take a drink here and do the next one. It's kind of long. This one's called A High Tide at Gettysburg by an ex-Confederate soldier. A cloud possessed the hollow field, the gathering battle's smoky shield. Athwart the gloom the lightning flashed, and through the clouds some horseman dashed, and from the heights the thunder pealed. Then at the brief command of Lee moved out that matchless infantry, with Pickett leading grandly down to rush against the roaring crown of those red heights of destiny. For heard above the angry guns a cry across the tumult runs, the voice that rang through Shallow's woods and Chickamauga solitudes, the fierce South cheering on her sons. Oh, how the withered tempest blew against the front of Pettigrew, a crimsoned wind that scorched and seemed like that infernal flame that fringed the British squares at Waterloo. 1,000 fell where Kemper led, 1,000 died where Garnett bled, in blinding flame and straggling smoke. The remnant through the batteries broke and crossed the works with Armistead. Once more in glory's vein with me, Virginia cried to Tennessee. We two together, come what may, shall stand upon these works today, the reddest day in history. Brave Tennessee, in reckless way, Virginia heard her comrades say, close round the rent and riddled rag, what time she sent her battle flag amid the guns of Doubleday. But who shall break the guards that wait before the awful face of fate? The tattered standards of the South were shriveled at the cannon's mouth, and all our hopes were desolate. In vain the Tennessean set her breast against the bayonet. In vain Virginia charged in rage, a tiger's in her wrath uncaged, till all the hill was red and wet. Above the bayonets mixed and crossed, men saw a gray, gigantic ghost receding through the battle cloud, and heard against the tempest loud the death cry of a nation lost. The brave went down without disgrace. They leaped to ruin's red embrace. They only heard fade's thunders wake, and saw the dazzling sunburst break, and smiles on glory's bloody face. They fell who lifted up a hand, and bade the sun in heaven to stand. They smote and fell who set the bars against the progress of the stars and stayed the march of motherland. They stood, he saw the future come, on though the fight's delirium. They smote and stood, who held the hope of nations on that slippery slope, amid the cheers of Christendom. God lives, he forged the iron will that clutched and held the trembling hill. God lives and reigns, he built and lit the heights for freedom's battlement, where floats her flag in triumph still. Fold up the flags, smelt the guns, love rules, her gentle purpose runs. A mighty mother turns in tears the pages of her battle years, leaving all her fallen sons. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.